Hey there, just a quick reminder, we have a mentorship program if you're looking for personalized coaching and mentorship to help guide you to the next level of your interior design business, whatever that might look like for you, whether it's processes and procedures or what services to offer to how to incorporate wellness, intention, or spirituality into your projects. Come join us over at designcoven.com/join. Or if you're just in search to connect with other like-minded interior designers, you can join our free community, also located at designcoven.com/join. Hello, hello. We are at episode 18, and today we have CEO and founder of Nolé and Marias. Alida is a social entrepreneur on a mission to leave a positive mark on the planet through eco-consciousness and human-first businesses. After winning Miss Guatemala in 2007, Alida had the chance to travel extensively to remote areas in her home country. She discovered things that moved her to the core, and the urge to share them with the world became her passion. I'm so excited to have Alida on today. She is truly, truly an inspiration, and I hope you all enjoy our conversation as much as I did. You're listening to the Holistic Interior Design Business Podcast. This is a podcast that guides you as a new or inspiring independent interior designer navigating your entrepreneurial path. Here, with my over 20 years experience, I will share my holistic approach to design with intention and ancient practices, including feng shui, all incorporating mind, body, and spirit into my design projects. You will also learn from seasoned interior designers as they give strategies and insight of how they built their businesses and continue to work in the field. Together, we will discover supportive trade partners, new ideas, creatives, and inspiring artists from around the world. I am your host, Rachel Lorraine Crawford. I'm so excited to have our guest, Alida, on, who is the founder of Nolé, and they offer beautiful shampoo and conditioner bars that don't have all the plastic and all those other things that, go into the landfill. So this is going to be a beautiful opportunity to connect with her and her vision and how she's doing her part to make our world a better place. So before we start, I am going to go ahead and light our candle, connecting with that beautiful element of fire, connecting with creativity, inspiration, just lighting this here. And also just connecting with our higher selves and with the planet, with Mother Earth. I love to connect with her. She's our mama here. I'm going to go ahead and ring our bell to get us into the present moment. And of course, pulling our cards. So today I am pulling from La Flora Tarot, which is really beautiful. The cards all have plants and flowers and all kinds of magic. And I thought it was perfect since we're going to be connecting with plants here with the shampoo bars, the conditioner bars. They all have beautiful plant magic with them. So let's go ahead and pull us a card for today. I'm going to read the right side up so if it comes in reverse. And it's the Nine of Cups. So 9 of Cups. And the flower here is Queen's Crepe Myrtle. And the 9 of Cups, I love so much because this is the wish card. This is the card, wishes be granted. So whenever I'm pulling this card, it's like, okay, what is the wish that you are wanting to create? What are you wanting to manifest? What do you want to bring into fruition? Because basically it's saying these things are coming to you. So being really intentional, right? Being really intentional about what we're wanting to bring forward because it's happening. So we know the parts and pieces are already in the works and wishes are coming true for sure.
I'm so excited, Rachel.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have you here. And I also just wanted to share that I'm enjoying some oolong tea. It's a champagne oolong tea from Paru Tea, who's local here in San Diego. And do you have anything that you're nourishing yourself with?
You know what? I actually am having my water. drink it alkaline. I have a little alkaline filter. And I'm putting these drops, which are a Damiana extract plant for hormone balance. Especially me, I'm like, oh, I have a baby and everything. So that has helped me, and I do it 3 times a day. So this is a perfect moment to do my second round.
Amazing. Damiana, that is a special plant for sure. We were doing a new moon circle the other day, and we were making candles, and it was in connection with Beltane, which is that energy of fertility, and and we had some Damiana that we were sprinkling on there. So I'm just so excited that you had that with you.
It is, but you know what? It is funny because it is very good for like balancing hormones, but it's my friends and everybody, it's also the aphrodisiac. And I didn't know until later. I was like, oh, wow, and then I'm like, oh, I Google it. I'm like, oh, it's a natural aphrodisiac. I'm like, okay.
Like, I'm feeling good.
Like I was like, oh, I wonder. Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's so awesome. I love it. So I would love to start by just asking you what's home for you right now. What does home mean to you, and what part of the world are you in, and all of that?
Well, home for me is my world. I am in New York City. You can see a little bit of my space. There's a lot of color. I don't know if you can see it there in the camera.
Yes, I love that.
And I have 2 kids and my husband, and they are my world. And I spend most of the time here. I'm trying to be a little bit more active and go out for a little walk or picking up the kids from school. But this home for me is literally my world, and I love it. And I feel peaceful and calm here. And it's a good thing that you want to be at home. Some people don't need to be at their home. I do.
I know it's really important having a space that we want to actually be in and thrive in. And sometimes, we don't even want to leave our homes because we've created such sacred spaces. So that's so wonderful. So I found you, and you found me through Expo West, which is a natural food show that happens every year in Anaheim. And I went searching for, really cool companies that were sustainable, that were doing really neat things in the world. I came across your booth and connected with somebody there. And then you also found me and started to email me. So I just thought that was so synchronicity, happening at that time. And I just, I'm so excited to have you here.
Me too. I checked your Instagram and all your podcasts, and it's like, I love what you do, the vibe, the energy. I just feel like everything in the world is like energy, and to be able to connect with people in this way of having a balanced life, it's great. So that's why I'm like, oh, I need to meet Rachel. I want her to try the shampoos. I think this is the people that I want to try our products, our product.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So tell me, how did all of this happen? How did you become a founder in this? What were you doing before? Like, what's the journey that has taken you to this point?
Well, I'm from Guatemala originally. I've been living here already almost 8 years. And I think I always been passionate about my country, about exploring, about women very much. I can show you a little bit here. I have a fashion company. I don't know if you can see all this.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Here are some textiles also. So I created this brand called Marias, and our core is handbags. So I work with over 500 women in Guatemala that create these textiles, and we do one-of-a-kind bags, especially bags.
Yeah.
And we've been in the market for 11 years, and it's the most well-known brand in Guatemala. So when someone visits our place and wants to take something really beautiful, for men, they usually take rum sacapa, which is very famous. And for women, they give our bags. So it's been beautiful. And to have this women work from their homes to basically keep our traditions alive, because a lot of this is getting lost with all the, big factories and manufacture, because all of this is handmade, has been a beautiful journey. So that's what I still do, besides Nolé, which is the newest baby. And I always been someone that likes to feel good, look good. Like, it's part of me, I want to, I know we're going to talk rituals, but I'm the type of person that has tried all the creams, all the lotions and things for the hair, and try to feel good about myself. And I've tried every product. I came here to New York and I had my first baby. And then I went through a separation, and I was in a country that I didn't know anybody, and I was going through all this postpartum and breakup and everything. And I started going through a very stressful moment.
Mm.
And a lot of my hair was like starting to lose, Sorry if my
Yeah.
English is not the
No,
best.
I love it.
To fall. My hair started to fall. And I've tried everything. I was trying, I think we don't think about it, but hair for a lot of people, for some other not, but it's like a major accessory, it's kind of like it gives you this self-confidence. And I started to have even some bald spots, and it really affected me. And I was trying from everything, from supplements to serums to shampoos to everything, and really nothing worked that I would be like, wow, like some creams for my face or serums I've tried and I'm like, oh wow, this is really like changing the texture of my face. But it didn't happen with the hair. And anyways, life went on. I kept on working, doing my things, but it became like an issue. And I started talking to friends that had around the same age like me, and they were all struggling with hair loss or with the thinning of the hair or with something. We always think about men because it's like more obvious when they go bald, but not in women, and it's a thing. So in one of my trips to Honduras, they invited me to give a talk about sustainable fashion. I went there and they took me out for a little tour. And I always like to ask, what do you have in this country that we cannot find somewhere else?
Right.
Food, about everything. And out of the blue, it came, oh, we have this batana oil. And I'm like, what is the batana oil? And they were like, oh, this is this oil that you can find in La Mosquitia, which is kind of far from the center of the country. Okay. And it's been harvested by this tribe for many, many years. And they're actually known as the people of beautiful hair. It's great for the hair and the skin and for hair loss. And I've heard this story 100 times, it's like, okay, fine. You also have magic oil like every other single country. Yeah. So I didn't pay that much attention. But then they started telling me the story, like this big beauty corporation wanted to come and basically take over and kind of
my God.
happened. And I was like, oh, really? So I was like, oh, if they weren't, there was some interest. I wonder why. And I started Googling and trying to get batana oil. And it was very hard because you can get in eBay, like this little jar. Okay. I ordered one in eBay, never came to my house.
Oh my gosh.
So I called my friend and I was like, can you send me a little bottle of batana oil? So he did. And then the pandemic hit. And then I basically had the whole time to be putting this oil in my hair. So I started putting the oil, and even my husband was like, why are you doing that? It smells like burnt coffee. I'm like, I'm trying to see if something works for my hair. Yeah. And literally, I would say, I started seeing a great moisture in my hair. I use a hair curler every other day. Yeah. But then I started seeing baby hairs I would say 3 weeks a month. I really started seeing a difference, and I'm like, is it really this oil? So I kept on using it. My hair really started becoming the best I've ever had, even in my younger years. Yeah. So I started giving it to some of my friends and ship it, my best friends. I'm like, guys, can you try this and tell me if it works? And they were all fascinated, and they're like, yeah, this is super good. But once we're out of the pandemic, we won't have time to be putting this in right today. And that's how basically it started. I was like, oh, wow, this is great. I think it's something good, and I wanted to put it out there. I started looking for chemists. I'm not a chemist, so I don't know. I just know what works for me. Yeah. The formulations behind. And then I met this very young chemist who is like a genius, with this, all these new generations already come with this brain of green, eco-friendly, sustainable, no plastic. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. And he was like, yeah, actually, there's no need for liquid shampoo. There's no need. 70% or 80% is water, these plastic bottles. So we developed this beautiful formulas that you have in your hands, which are basically pH balance for the scalp, sulfate-free, paraben-free, salt-free, silicone-free. It's the product, Rachel, is so much better than I've ever dreamed. I never was thinking in my future, I'm going to do a shampoo. No, it didn't. It just happened. And we started selling it in Guatemala almost a year ago. And we were always running out of the product, getting out of stock in Guatemala, which is a small country. And the mentality is not so eco-friendly yet as it's here.
Okay.
And it was amazing to see the people like loving the product, getting the testimonials. So then we launched in the US in Expo West, where I met you. That was our
That's your launch?
launch for the US. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Yeah. So that's basically, we are babies here, 2 months, but we've been so blessed to get the testimonials from people. We've been covered in 2 months by Vogue, Beauty Independent, Fashionista, Hollywood Reporter. And it's really great to see, because when you talk about, when you pull out the card and you were saying, what is your wish? My wish is to be, honestly, to change the way people shampoo and conditioner. There's no need for plastic. You don't have to have you can have a great product without the plastic. And, you know, that would be my dream, for people to change that and use less plastic, at least in your hair. Maybe you cannot do it in your body or something, but at least with your hair.
Yes, it's so beautiful. Yeah, and your packaging is really gorgeous, and everything that you guys have. I mean, I remember being at the show and your booth really stood out. And it's like, that looks super, you know, it's modern, but it's still really organic looking and it's approachable. And yeah, I love all of the pieces that you've created. They're absolutely gorgeous. And I've never used a bar before in my hair, and I was using it. My husband's like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, this is a shampoo bar. Like, you know, I'm getting it in, and it's really nice because it has a, you know, it foams up a bit, and it just makes your hair feel, and it smells amazing. But yeah, I just remember using it, and I used it this morning actually before we got on, and it just has this beautiful aroma to it, and it feels clean. And same thing with the conditioner. Like, the conditioner doesn't feel slimy or anything. It just feels like a nice clean rinse going through. And yeah, so I'm definitely, you know, falling in love with your product here.
I love, you know what, one of the things that Expo West showed me, which is good in a way, because it just all this potential to give the message and to convert people, is the amount of people that had never tried a shampoo bar, which it was like, I would say 95% of the people. Yeah. They were like, oh, soaps. And I was like, no, actually this is shampoo. What? How do you use it? How do you do that? And I'm like, as you use the soap in the body, you do it in your hair. And the lather is one of the wow that people that got samples or they write me, they're like, wow, I was not expecting this much foam. This is great.
Yeah.
And all the bars, and even the smells of the bars, are by essential oil. So there's really no junk whatsoever in the bars. But I'm glad, and your hair looks beautiful. I mean, you have hair to start with, but it looks
great.
awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. And I usually, it's funny because I'll grow it out and then I'll just chop it off like super short. So now I'm in the growing phase again.
No, it looks really nice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's just so beautiful. And I'm so glad that you mentioned the handbags as well. I think I saw a little bit, but can you even tell us a little bit more about that as well? Because I really want to share that too.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, it's been my journey in life. It's been working with a lot of people, especially like, I think my heritage, which is Latin, like the women in Guatemala, the organization in Honduras to get the oil, which Patanes, all our bars have. But I started Marias also. I have a fashion background. I used to be a model when I was very young, and I was in beauty pageants long time ago. So in one of the, when I was Miss Guatemala, I had a lot of charity work to do and to travel outside my country, which was awesome because I got to know places that otherwise I didn't even know that existed inside my country. So during those trips, I realized the amazing work that women did, you know, and I had been in Italy and I had been in France, and I knew what like couture was. So when I started seeing these strips and seeing this woman doing these beautiful textiles in the waist loom or in the foot loom, I was like, this is couture. Like, why is it not appreciated? Is it because it's Guatemala and not Italy?
Right.
Because one of these textiles can take up to like 3, 4, 5 months to be done, and the work and I was like, oh, that kept staying in my mind. I'm like, why? When I see pieces of textile back then, I would see it like in little markets and not with the value that they deserve. You know, it was like a little thing to put your coins or like, and I was like, like, how can we bring this to an international market and giving it the importance that it has, which is a piece of art. So that was in my mind. And obviously you have an idea and it's not like you have it the next day. It took like a year and a half until I was, you know what, I am going to do handbags because it's just a perfect canvas to put these textiles. And it's a piece that any woman in the world can use. You know, sometimes you might not use it as a blouse, which that's the huipil and the textile, you use it as a blouse, but you can use it as a handbag. And I started back then in a little workshop, like a room with 3 artisans and myself. I didn't know how to use a sewing machine, so we got this little workshop, and we started like that. And I feel like just the textiles is such a beautiful piece of work that it pops out a lot, and also just life, because I was in this dinner where the wife of the buyer of Bloomingdale's Dubai was there.
Oh my gosh!
She started talking about my bag. I always was carrying my bags.
Yeah.
We were like not even selling that much back then. She's like, I love your bag. I'm like, yeah, we're doing this. And she put me in contact with her husband. And that's actually how we started. He's like, okay, send me samples. And he gave us all the feedback of the 100 things that we needed to work on. You know, we were new. We didn't.
Yeah, of course.
And we did that, and we started selling in Dubai. And then, you know, I think the most beautiful thing of Marias is people, our own, like Guatemalans, started appreciating our own textiles more after Marias was selling in Dubai and other countries in a different way. Artisans were getting paid better. And Guatemala has the biggest textile heritage in the complexity and the different techniques. It's a small country, but I mean, the amount of techniques, I'll just show.
Yeah, show me. I would love to
a close up a little bit. These are, you know, these are
so beautiful.
All the textiles. And then here are some of like the bag that you can see this. And we have like even started doing like other type of, this is, there have little dolls. They have,
the little worry dolls.
Yeah, the worry dolls are actually from Guatemala. So we have a lot of our collections. And so that's a little bit of Marias. And we also sell around the world and work with a lot of women, which is great because they work from their homes. Still, most of them are moms or wives, and they can do the textiles from the homes and just send them to the city where we have our factory and we produce our bags.
Oh my gosh! So we can get them on your website, and where else can we find them?
You can find them in mariasbag.com. And then we have our actual stores. We have 3 in Guatemala. And then we just have it in like very specialty boutiques, even in Australia, South Africa, very small specialty boutiques. Yeah.
That's so beautiful. I'll put all of the links in the show notes so that we can find your bags. That's amazing. And then the soaps, or the conditioner and shampoo bars, where do we find your bars?
You can find it in our website, nolecare.com. You can get it in Amazon as well. And right now we're starting in wholesaling in a lot of cute small boutiques in California. So we're working on our market there because our production is also still not that great, not that big. We work on that because we have a lot of people like cool stores bigger that they want our product, but we just don't want to promise and not deliver. So we're working on increasing our production. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so inspired by you. I feel like you come up with these ideas and then you gather a team and you execute and you find people, like you're talking about with this chemist, like, you know, not knowing this stuff and having the courage to go out there and find somebody that can help you, you know, bring things forward. And I realized that, like, even in my business and like doing this podcast, I remember just being, you know, super scared of like, I'm the kind of person that wants to do everything myself and like has to, you know what I mean? Like, and you probably feel this same. It's like, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to, and I've just now gotten to the point where it was like, I don't have to do everything. Like I can create a team. I can ask people to join me that, you know, are specialized in editing and all these other things. And so I feel like I've kind of, you know, gone through a mental block of having to know everything and to do everything. And I see that in you too. And I'm like, okay, this is like, you know,
I feel you. You know, it's funny because with Marias, I was like that. I wanted to do everything from the Facebook page to like contact. And obviously I was starting, but now with this new brand, I said exactly what you're saying. I'm like, I cannot do the branding. I want to find a great people that can do the branding, the copywriting. I need someone that speaks good English and can do the proper copywriting. And it has been like that. And it's been such a nice process because you are talking with people that are better than you in those fields.
Yeah.
So I got the idea and I can help, do the things that I'm good at. And at the beginning, it's a little bit hard because you're like, what about if they don't do it the way that I want it? But then you realize, no, actually, there's people that can do it better, and that's what you want. And then also, then you have the time for the things that you really enjoy. And especially for me, that I'm a mom, and it's hard to balance work and family.
Yeah.
I want to have that certain time where I can enjoy the kids as well, and know that work can be done with a great team.
Yeah, it's been huge for me too. How old are your kids?
I have a 6-year-old and an 11-month.
Yeah, I have 2 boys as well. Mine are 9 and 11. I'm like, how old?
9 and 11. Oh wow! Starting in the teenage years, I'm scared of those years. It's actually yesterday I did a little workshop with all the kids from school. I brought this child psychologist from Mexico, and we had them here. We were talking about the different stages, and I'm like, wow, every stage is just amazing, and the kids.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think that's also just an important, piece, being a parent and then also bringing that into your business and knowing, and it really helps you like prioritize, like, what do you want to do with your time and how do you want to spend it? And, we have that entrepreneur spirit. So it's like, always creating, always coming up with ideas, and then finding the people to help create that. And knowing your role, like what's, where do you serve best in your space? Because we don't have to do all of it. So
yeah,
I just love that.
Exactly. And I think a key is finding the right people. And that's not easy, Rachel. I don't know if it happens to you, because I think once you have a great team, things go smooth, but it's also a process of like, okay, which person is going to be in each part. And that's a hard part.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to,
it's great.
Yes, exactly. It's just like owning them in and figuring out what their role is and what their part is. And then, also just discovering, okay, that's not going to work. So we need to figure something else out. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So beautiful. I'm so glad I got to connect with you. This was really neat. But I do want to ask you, do you have any rituals or things that you do to keep you in the present moment or to keep you grounded? Or it doesn't have to be anything, crazy. I'm just curious. And I love sharing everyone's different rituals, because I feel like it just gives us a perspective that we can do things so differently, and it doesn't have to be one way.
Yeah. I feel that for me, exercise, it's a big thing. And I haven't been able to find the time in the last month, but I try to have that time for me. And I know that it works, like it's good for your physical, but for me, it's also more like a mental thing. It's like it's like that little space that I have during the day. And sometimes I wake up at 5 a.m. because that's the time that I have before the kids go to, I go to school and everything. Yeah. So I feel like that I this month has been crazy, and I cannot wait to start going back. I don't get to do them as much. I did it this Sunday, but like a good bath, just with a candle, with a face mask, and just having 20 minutes or I wish I could do it more often, but that's one of the things that I love, kind of pampering, something that you like. Those are things. Another thing that we do, I don't know if it's like a ritual, but we do it is first thing when we wake up in the morning, and after that we have a glass with lemon with a little bit of and even my son has it and he hates it, but I'm like, this is good, this is gonna alkaline your body, alkalize your body. So that's something that we really do all the time.
That's definitely a ritual for sure.
I feel like also just walking, when I go and pick up my son, I take that as a break and as a ritual. It gives me the time to just go out and get a walk, and my mind is relaxing a little bit from sitting in the computer doing other things.
Yeah, my walk is I have to do that in the morning. That's how I start my day. So I definitely feel you.
So that's a little bit. I think meditation, I want to go back to that because I felt it helped me, especially during my second pregnancy. I would do 20 minutes. And I heard a lot of my friends are like, that has helped me so much. So I'm like, I need to find those 20 minutes. not fall asleep.
Yeah, I know. I know. Maybe start with like a 2 minute or 5 minute.
Exactly.
You can grow your way up. So what's brewing? What's coming up for Nolé and your handbags? And what are you working on now? Is it really just about getting the product out there or?
Well, with Marias, we are rebranding.
Okay.
We wanted to do it last year, but because we were working so much in Nolé, so we're coming with this fresh image, new collections of keeping the ancestral techniques, but in a little bit of a modern way, and keeping
Cool.
our signature collection, which is the colorful thing. So I'm really excited about that. And then with Nolé is just start changing the way people thinks about shampoo and conditioning, and being in more stores. I always say it's with our team, we're all obsessed with Nolé. We are like, it's like one wash and you're a convert, because it's so, like, it really is so good for your hair. It's like, so I think our main goal with Nolé is to increase our production and make our facility a little bit bigger, since we produce.
Yeah.
So that is brewing, and that's what we're working on. Before I logged in with you, we were talking with the team. We're like, we really need to work on our production and inventory, because thank God people is loving our product, and we have to make sure that it's there for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of that, I know you gifted our cosmic tier on Patreon with a set of shampoo and conditioner bars. So this will go out to our cosmic tier in Patreon. So I'm sending that out with our zine, and so that our patrons can try that as well. So I just want to say thank you for bringing that to us and allowing us to try your beautiful bars. These are so precious.
Oh, no, thank you. And I'm so happy for, to share with people and for them to have the Nolé experience.
Yeah, I just feel like, bath rituals for me, that's just like a really special space. And I have like a little dish with the bars, and, I like to make things beautiful, and I really do treat, connecting with our bodies, bathing as, sacred time. So
yeah, I agree with you. And as you say, with the bars, the shower looks so much nicer without bottles.
But absolutely, especially when we like design these beautiful spaces. I design bathrooms all the time, and it's like, and then they stick these giant not bars, giant bottles, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. So then I have to clean it all out, stage it, make it pretty, and these would be perfect in there. But yes, the aesthetics, I know it's just part of who I am, and it's really important, and it has an energy about it. So, and I feel like it, really radiates out, and knowing that these came from Guatemala and all the natural oils and just the love that you've put into it and the intention, really it exuberates it. You can feel it. Like I said, I was really attracted to your booth when I saw it. So you're doing some good things for sure.
Oh, thank you, Rachel. We're starting, and hopefully, we get that love from the people, because we are all passionate, like the whole team, we're passionate of what we do. And I'm happy that you felt that in our booth, because yes, we were a small booth compared to those monster booths of huge other brands that they're there. But I think ours had soul, and I think people felt it, and it was great that it was always so busy, and we were just sharing our message, and that's been great.
Yeah, it's great. So how can we find you? What are your handles on Instagram or website?
So our handles on Instagram is nole.care.
Okay.
My personal is Alida Boer. And the bags is Maria's bag. So there's so much.
I'm going to put all of them in the show notes.
Yes. And then the website is nolecare.com, which I would love for you to see. We've also put so much effort in the branding and everything. And then mariasbag.com is for our bags.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. I will be sharing this with everybody. We'll be posting all over the place. And I just really appreciate your time. I know how precious time is, especially with teeny tiny ones and your booming businesses. So I just really, really appreciate you.
No, thank you for making the space. You're also as busy, and thank you so much for helping me share the story of our products, of myself, and I'm always here.
Yeah, absolutely. I will be definitely following you and all of your stories and all the things that are to come. I'm excited.
Thank you so much, Rachel.
You've been listening to the Holistic Interior Design Business podcast. If it's one that you have been enjoying, please share with anyone else that you think can benefit from this knowledge, and leave us a 5-star review that helps us get seen and found by other new and aspiring interior designers. And if you're looking for mentorship, I invite you to join our club here at the Design Coven. It's a bridge between school and real life interior design. We get in much deeper there. We have virtual and in-person events, so everyone is welcome. You don't need to have a design degree to be part of it, just an interest in holistic interior design. I also want to thank our editor, Marcy Ferry, and lastly, Kinseth Thibodeau, who is our music composer. Until next time, be well, and we will see each other soon.